Thomas stood at the top station of his branch line. He had run around Annie and Clarabelle after the morning journey and was enjoying a short rest before the run back down. His driver and fireman stood outside his cab talking to the guard who had brought startling news. "Did you know that the station master was burgled last night?" he was asking. "You don't say," he exclaimed it. "I didn't know he had anything worth stealing." "He won cups for gardening," explained the fireman, "all taken, and then the scoundrels had the cheek to pinch his card to carry them away in. Not that new one he's so proud of," said the driver. The guard agreed, and that moment the signal rose to show the line was clear. The driver and fireman climbed into Thomas's cab. The guard blew his whistle and waved his green flag and got into Clarabelle, and Thomas set off. By the time they were through the tunnel, the train was running nicely. Road and railway were beside each other there, with only a stream between them. Thomas remembered his race with Bertie. He had only won because he could go through the hill, while Bertie had to go over it. Suddenly, a flash of colour on the road ahead caught his eye. He tried to go faster to look more closely. "Steady, Thomas," said his driver. "There's plenty of time." "Can't we get closer to that car?" panted Thomas. "It looks like the station master's to me. Lots of cars look like that," laughed his driver. He opened the regulator and they began to draw level. There were two men in the car. They waved when they saw Thomas and tried to go faster. "That's the car all right, Thomas," said the fireman, "and those two must be the thieves. But we can't stop them and they'll be gone long before the next station." "We need a pencil, paper, and something to put a note in," said the driver. "We'll throw a message out at the next signal box." Quickly, he wrote the note and they put it in the fireman's empty lunch tin, then drawing ahead of the car. Thomas whistled to attract the signalman's attention. They slowed it so that the fireman could throw the box up to him. And as they went past, both driver and fireman shouted "Police!" at the top of their voices. By now, the stolen car had gone well ahead, and Thomas did not see it again. But the signalman telephoned police headquarters at once, and the thieves were stopped at a roadblock about 10 miles further on. That afternoon, Thomas arrived at Knapford. The Fat Controller and the station master were waiting for him. They had told the passengers the whole story. And the station master fined Thomas, his driver, and his fireman for their prompt action. The passengers cheered loudly, and they cheered even more when they heard that the station master's gardening clubs had all been found undamaged in a sack in the boot of the car. "A long time ago," said the Fat Controller, waiting for silence, "Thomas showed how valuable he is to the smooth running of my railway. I'm sure you will all agree that today he has once again proved himself to be a really useful engine." Thomas smiled happily.